Okay, so our third speaker is David from Monero.
Okay, so thank you, Eddie, and thank you everyone to be here, and thank you, Pierre, because your explanation allowed me to skip some details that I wanted to talk about the transparency of the blockchain. So, when we think about Bitcoin, we think about money, that's important, and what is the first thing that comes to mind when we think about money? What is the first picture? This is the first picture when we think about money. But Bitcoin is not this. It is not cash. It is not cash. Sorry, Pierre. Bitcoin is more like this, like a credit card. I will tell you why it's more like a credit card. Because every time you are doing a transaction, it is stored in a database forever. And fortunately, thanks to the bank secrecy, only you, your bank, and of course the law enforcement is able to know what you did with the money. But with Bitcoin, you don't have this. You don't have bank secrecy on Bitcoin, so everyone in the world can know what you did. Actually, everyone in the world can know what everyone did. The only real protection you have is the so-called pseudonymity, that one person and one address cannot be related, which is completely wrong. It happened because of the human behavior, and it also happened because of improving technology for analyzing this. So, okay, you could say, okay, you know, I'm just a fun guy, I have nothing to hide, it's okay. Well, maybe you have nothing to hide, but you certainly have something to protect. And I will show you why privacy matters. All of this can be done right now with a transparent blockchain. Targeted advertisement, we know when you bought something, why you bought something, and maybe even how much money you had when you bought it. I think I don't need to explain more. Of course, once I found out that one big address belongs to someone, I can just pay this person a visit. My family, my friends, or my boss could know what I'm doing with my money or what I am not doing with my money. When was the last time that you donated to the church, for example? I don't remember seeing your transaction here. And remember, everything is on the web. Blockchain.info, you have everything. Oh, yeah. You are paid in Bitcoin, okay? So you are giving an address to your boss. He's sending the Bitcoin there. So he can check and track everything that you are doing. Oh, and it just happened that you have a transaction to the CGT. It's a French trade union. Wow. Yeah, great. Thank you, boss. Also, and this really happened. On Coinbase, several persons complained the last weeks, months, that the accounts were cancelled because of laundering. They were not laundering. Okay, maybe they were, but I don't think these 3% guys were. But the money just happened to come from a suspicious activity 2 transactions before. What could they do? Yeah, they should check the blockchain to be sure about every single of the money. Yeah, right. Also, if you are using Bitcoin or any other transparent blockchain money, it's not only about Bitcoin, remember, it's about transparent blockchain. You can, if you are a company, your competitor can check the salaries you are paying your people, the suppliers, the contract, all of these, if it's done in Bitcoin, it's transparent, it's everywhere. And finally, one last thing is about net neutrality. Do you know about net neutrality, some of you here? Okay, so the net neutrality is the idea that basically the person who are taking care of the fiber optics, of the transportation system, should not care about what you are dealing with. You should not say, okay, you are sending YouTube video, it's very heavy, I want to stop it. Right now, the way the system works for mining, Monero, everything, is that the miners, they get new money, new Bitcoin, new Monero, new whatever, but they also take care of transactions. They are verifying transaction, which means that the miner knows what is in the transaction and where it goes. Now imagine, for example, that you are a reporter without borders, and you are accepting transaction in Bitcoin, and that a large state doesn't want Reporter Without Borders to have money. They can actually bribe a large amount of miners, as Pierre said, and earlier it was also for Neocon. The mining is getting more and more concentrated, so it means it's more and more easy to contact some large mining pool. and to prevent them to accept any transaction sent to one particular person that you don't like. Or even better, we don't want your e-commerce competitor to receive money. We can have kind of war on this. All of this, why? Because the miner know what is going on, and they can check and decide what to do. Basically, miners are becoming sensors. These are all the problems of a transparent blockchain. Now, with Monero, we are facing this. For centuries, we have physical cash, which is decentralized and private. In the 90s, David Chaum created eCash, and eCash was private, but it was not decentralized. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto created something that is decentralized and electronic. And finally, in 2014, we created Monero, which is both decentralized, private, and of course, electronic. So we are not a company. We are an open source project. We are only relying on funds. We have 7 persons. 2 of them decided to be public faces, one in South Africa, Ricardo Sparni, and me in France. And the other decided for their own reason to remain anonymous. That's just a difficult choice. One thing that is important, because we are not kind of a gangster or drug dealer or whatever. What is important to know is that there are some reasons why you want transactions to be visible. You are a company. You need to be audited by the tax office or just by an independent audit. You need them to be able to check that what is going on. And for this, we have a very interesting feature called the view key. The view key is basically a password that gives one person that you decide the ability to know what is going on in your account. But only them, only the auditing company can check the salaries and the transaction, but not the competitors. It is selective. If you're a charity, you have a moral duty to show what is going on with the money that people are giving to you. You just give the view key on the internet and everyone can check. You're a parent, you are giving money to your child, but you want to keep kind of control about what she's doing. Much like now we are giving a mobile phone to your daughter, and you want, well, to check what is going on. You just keep the view key and you can control this again. So it is fundamentally private, but optionally transparent. When you need it to be transparent, it can be. And if a government wants to control, you just knock at the door and say, okay, give me your view key, and you buy it. And that's all. So this is important that we play fair, both for privacy conscious and for regulators. I will skip there because, well, we just have 10 minutes. Basically, we worked a lot in just 9 months. And all right. This one I will skip it also. It's about the various software that we created. We talk about money. It's much more than money, we believe, really. We are constantly improving with new innovation on the system, on the Monero system, and we continue to do so. For example, we will add I2P router. What is I2P? I2P is basically something that prevents you to hide your IP address also. So if you want to be completely private, you have to have the whole chain of security to be private. And right now, when you are using any transparent blockchain or any coin, by the way, your IP is still public. Again, if you want to hide it, you can. This is one of the things we are working on. And also, we consider that assets and building blocks on the blockchain can be more than money, because remember, Bitcoin and Monero and everything is not about money. It's about transaction. It just happened that one of these transactions is called money, but there are a lot of others. Contracts are transactions. When you are writing patents and you want them to be completely recorded on the blockchain, these are some kind of transaction like a notarial service in a way. All of these are the future of the blockchain, on top of money. And I think, yeah, this one, I said, it's okay, it's my name, and Ricardo is also accountable, so if a regulator wants to have an information, just knock in France or in South Africa. And I think this is it. If you have any question, I will be very happy to answer.
Excellent. I'll just tell you, David, that if you come and pay me a visit to steal my bitcoins, I'm pretty sure I can take you. No, I'm joking. Right. Does anyone have a question for David?
Symbolic question. Why is it called Monero?
Yeah. Monero is the Esperanto name for money. We wanted something that our target audience is 7 billion people, so better to have an international language.
Another question. First, it was a nice presentation. You talked about anonymity a lot, and what do you think of other anonymous altcoins like Darkcoin or other blockchains using anonymity as an advantage over Bitcoin? And do you think anonymity is a first advantage of Monero next to Bitcoin?
It was definitely the thing that stood out the most compared to the others. Yes, privacy. Now, regarding the other privacy-conscious coins, first I would like to inform you that in May we will have a large meeting in Paris with Ricardo Spagni and me here about the matter of privacy on blockchain and other things. Now, regarding the other currencies, first, Monero, well, basically Cryptonaut, is the only one which is which has opaque blockchain. All of the other, including Shadow Cash, well, it's a bit different for each Shadow Cash, or Darkcoin or others, they all work on a transparent blockchain. So basically, they all suffer the same mistake. Regarding Darkcoin, they suffer even more mistake, but it would be unfair to talk about Darkcoin, and it would take so much time to debunk it that it's not even worth it. I think you will get tired.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Can we pass it on? Did you want the mic? Can we run the mic? Thanks.
When do you launch? Are you pre-mined, proof of stake, proof of work? What is the work?
It's completely proof of work from the day one, and we use the innovative emission curve that we do not have block halving. So for people who know what is block halving, it means that it basically artificially disrupts the network every once in a while, when all of a sudden you only get half of them. Every block in Monero is a little bit smaller than the previous one. Oh yeah, and about this, we are using an algorithm called Kryptonite, which basically reduces the difference of power between a CPU and a GPU, which means that regarding concentration, the professional miner, the one who are concentrating the network, use a lot of GPU. And everyday people, which is the dream of Satoshi Nakamoto at the beginning, they only have CPU, like a regular computer. Soon, we will implement something similar to Boing or SETI at home, that is, you just have your wallet open and it will mine naturally. Our goal is that if millions of people do this, the professional miner and the centralization will be cancelled.
Very good. Okay. Can I? Okay. Thanks. Any final questions?
Okay, so I've been in Bitcoin since like 2011 or something, and since that time I keep hearing that Bitcoin is not anonymous, everything is transparent, we can track everything, blah 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 blah. And in the meantime there has been like 30 hacks or something for huge amounts of money, and nobody knows where the money is. This is just one case, but actually from a practical standpoint I think it's very easy to use Bitcoin in a way where it's anonymous. So, in my opinion, Bitcoin is almost anonymous. Yes, obviously, if you make a direct transfer to me, and I make a direct transfer to an address which is public and everybody know what it is, okay, in that case, the transaction, you can know it's me, but I mean, if you don't reuse address and stuff like that, and you do a little bit of mixing, then it's anonymous, in my opinion. And we can see that the law of enforcement has never found someone based on blockchain analysis or anything like that. And you have tons of pseudo. You're talking about who? Rolls Ulrich? Yeah, but Rolls Ulrich was not found by blockchain analysis, not at all. He was found because he used the mails and identity that he had for stuff like that. He was never caught because of blockchain analysis. It's just, there's no... And even when they caught Rolls Ulrich, they were not even able to catch all the other guys who were dealing on Silk Road, except those who has identification information like IP and email. So I think Bitcoin is kind of anonymous. So, but that's my opinion.
Okay. Does it cover an answer, or we don't have time? I agree.
David's going to give you an answer. Hold on.
Okay, well, fair. Okay, if people are so stupid that you don't need to try the blockchain, yeah, it's better. Less work and the same result. It's normal that the FBI did it, and they were right. First thing. Second, we are okay. Conjoin doesn't work, by the way. Doesn't work anymore. Right now, most of the Bitcoin users are not that stupid, okay, except maybe on Bitcoin Tor, but that's different. But we are not targeting mainstream user. Mainstream user won't do half of the thing that we are doing now. First thing. Second, the technology for analyzing on an industrial scale the blockchain is arriving right now. I would just suggest you to check about the chain analysis. It was on Bitcoin Talk 1 week ago, and they are doing it professionally on this one. So when it comes to identifying, it will happen. It took time. It took something like 4 years, but it's coming. And again, if you need transparency, there are better ways if you need to have transparency. For example, you knock at the door, you say, you need to give us the password. Yeah.
Okay, last question. I might just get on. What?
No, just there is one technology that people can use to stay anonymous, which is Tor. What do you think of people using Tor in conjunction with another coin instead of Monero?
Okay, it's good but not good enough. First, Tor, okay, by the way, we're using I2P instead of Tor for several technical reasons, but also because the way Tor works is still a little bit centralized. I didn't talk about it, but we are actually 3 pillars in Monero. Like there are 5 pillars in Wikipedia, there are 3 in Monero. First one is privacy, the second one is decentralization, and the third one is about scalability. For example, you know about the blockchain size blocks limit on Bitcoin. We don't have this, so we can handle much more transactions than Bitcoin could, except if Gavin succeeds to convince the Bitcoin community to change it. So Tor is good. I mean, it's really good. Still, it seems not to be good enough for certain things, and well, it's better to have 2 options. Actually, for the technical reason, Tor was not perfect.
Okay, David, on that, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Well done, that was funny. That was fun. I like it when people get excited. Where are we?